Hello, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We just literally did a stream, knee-jerk stream for an hour. So we're back again, as we said, for the transfer tips video for Game Week 15. So yeah, should be a good one. And we're not going to waste too much time. We'll get straight into it and talk about the players that you guys should be looking to buy, sell, hold, and ignore for Game Week 15. So first up, my pick, I have gone with Kieran Trippier as a buy. Now, this might sound mad because he's already owned by 50% of the game. However, there is a lot of managers that don't actually own Kieran Trippier, and that is one of myself included. So Kieran Trippier has 14 appearances for the season. He also has 7 assists, so he's doing very well in that regard. I think he's now got the most assists, or one of the most assists in the league. And taking a look at his fixtures again, they look very nice. You know, Game of 15 is Everton away. You can see a clean sheet there potentially, maybe even an attack and return. Tottenham in Game Week 16 is a bit tougher for a clean sheet, but after that, Fulham, Luton, and Forest, 2 of those being at home, you can see clean sheets there. And again, we know Trippier, once he gets an attack and return, he also is a bonus points magnet. He does pick up the bonus points as we showed against Man United. So for the next 5, Trippier looks very, very good. And I am going to try find a way to bring him into my team, but he's just very expensive, obviously at 7 million. But again, if you can bring him in, I would do it. 7 million. And he's getting returns pretty consistently, especially with the fixtures now looking nice. I think it makes sense to bring Trippier in now. So yeah, he's the first buy. Might be an obvious one, but there is a lot of managers that don't have Trippier. Let's move on to the next buy then. Obviously, your selection. You've gone with Hwang. Talk us through Hwang. Why is he a buy? And why should managers be looking to bring him in?
Yeah, yet again, I did select him last week, Hwang, as a buy, but this week he's definitely one to bring in, I think, because he has Burnley at home in Game Week 15. Now, Hwang's record so far this season has been really good, considering in 14 appearances, 3 off the bench, he's managed to get 7 goals and 2 assists for Wolves, which is pretty good, especially in the absence of Neto being out injured. That's still a good record for Hwang. And in these matches where he has scored, it has been a bit against difficult teams, such as Arsenal. So in regards to fixtures, I don't think it really plays a part in terms of the form that Hwang's in currently at the moment. Now, I know he did blank against Arsenal in the last game week, but with the fixtures run up in the next 5 for him, I think they look pretty good. I think any of those fixtures, Hwang could potentially get a goal in. And especially in Game Week 15 when he has Burnley at home against a newly promoted team, even though Burnley won 5-0 against Sheffield United, they're still a team which concede goals. And especially with Neto being out for Wolves, it leaves only Hwang as a major goal contributor for Wolves currently, as he is the highest goal scorer for them so far this season. And that 5.6 million, you can't beat the price at that price. That's very cheap for midfielder, and the differential on top of that. Like I said last game week in transfer tip video, he's very underlooked. 5.8% ownership, has risen a little bit, but not too much, which I'm glad of because I'm looking to buy Hwang myself into my team. So yeah, he is definitely one as a differential pick that I'd like to go with going forward with as a buy for game week 15 and onwards.
Okay, nice one, Hwang with the buy. Let's move along then to a couple of sells. So these are players that we should be looking to get rid of. And I think first one, again, is another obvious one, I think, for me, or may not be, but that is Matty Cash. Now, Cash was on the bench today. He came on and played a couple of minutes. I think 20-odd minutes he played. And yeah, I think Cash is now an easy sell, guys. 13 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist. He's not actually got a return in terms of goals or assists since a lot of us brought him into our teams. Also, no clean sheet since game weeks 5 or 6, I think it was. And again, the fixtures has turned on Villa. And we know Villa, they don't keep many clean sheets as well. So Man City, I don't see a clean sheet there. Arsenal as well, it's going to be tough for a clean sheet. Brentford, Sheffield, and then Man United as well in the next 5. And there's the other defenders who have better fixtures, like the likes of Arsenal. Saliba, for example, you could move to. Even someone like a Porro who's got a bit more attacking threat. So I think Cash is, for me, is an easy sell. His ownership is going to expect it to come down, and I think he's going to come down in price as well soon. So yeah, for me, cash, easy sell, and I'd look to move on to someone else in terms of defense. So yeah, that's my, that's what I think of Matty Cash. Let's move on to the next pick then. As a sell, you've gone with the RB. He did get an assist today, for one of the goals, but obviously another Aston Villa player on the list. Why have you selected the RB as a sell?
Yeah, I think his teammate, obviously, Matt Cash's teammate DRB, is a sell for this week. He didn't play a lot of minutes actually to get that assist. He only played a couple of minutes, so it wasn't a full game for DRB. And I think with the fixtures turning now for Aston Villa, I don't see much attacking involvement from DRB. He has managed to get 3 goals and 3 assists so far this season. But the only great fixture in the next 5 for DRB is the Sheffield United one at home in Gameweek 18. Other than that, it's going to be really tough, I think, for DRB to get any goal involvements in the next 5 other than that fixture. Man City at home in Gameweek 15, tough. Even though it's a home fixture for Aston Villa, it's still going to be, I think, tough to obviously get one past Man City. Same with Arsenal as well. They look pretty good, not conceding many goals. But again, another home fixture for Aston Villa, so that can be arguably debatable whether you sell DRB or not for those 2 home fixtures. But the fixtures don't really improve after that. But Brentford away in 17 and then Man United away, if you consider that a red fixture in Game Week 19. So I think it's mostly due to the fact that DRB is not playing as many minutes as he was previously, as he hasn't really played 90-minute football much. And the fixtures have turned for Aston Villa as well. And for the price at 6.8 million, being a midfielder, I think there's other cheap options, like we've spoken about, who have much better fixtures upcoming. And the ownership for DRB is not considered to be that high. It's at 14.2%, but some of you still own DRB in your teams, and it could be one player you're looking to get rid of if you haven't got much to do in your team, even though you got an assist, obviously, in the game week. But I think it is a player that if I had him in my team, I'd be looking to sell DRB until the fixtures swing back in Aston Villa's favour.
Okay, thank you for that one. Yeah, I'd agree as well. DRB, I think he's an easy sell right now with the fixtures he has coming up. So time for players that we should, hold on to probably. So let's move it along. So I've gone with Son. Now Son was heavily transferred out. I think he had a price drop since last game week, and obviously he goes and gets a goal and an assist against Man City. And now people will be looking at potentially maybe bringing him back in because we've seen Son. He is clinical. He only needs a couple of chances to score, which I like about him. 14 appearances, 9 goals, 2 assists, which again, very good. And for the fixtures, they're pretty good as well on paper. West Ham next at home. Newcastle is a home fixture, but obviously we know Newcastle are good, but Newcastle's away form isn't as good as their home form. So Son could still return in that game against Newcastle because he can score, in my opinion, against any team in the league because I do think he's that good. Forest in Game Week 17. Game Week 18 is Everton. I wouldn't be wanting to sell Son, honestly, for this next 4. I think he will return. He will trickle along and he will get you points. So I'd be holding him. And underlying numbers again is decent. A lot of people were frustrated with Son after his hat trick of offside hat trick against Wolves. But for me, that was just a positive. If you're getting the chances, more times that are not, they will go in. So, and that's what happened today. And for me, you keep him. His ownership is quite high, 36%. And yeah, I'm not willing to sell Son yet. I was considering it potentially, but Spurs did look a lot better today against Man City, and some of the fixtures there are nice. So I'd be holding on to Son. Next player then who we should be looking to hold, and you've gone with Bowen as a hold. Obviously, isn't it a very interesting one because there was a lot of poker with Moyes. Is he going to be fit? Is he going to be injured? He does end up starting today. But talk us through Bowen, what you'd do with him if you still have him at the moment.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing with Bowen because as a Bowen owner, I did take Bowen out thinking he wasn't going to be fit for the match, obviously for the game week 14, but he was fit and he played 90 minutes, and a lot of you did get rid of Bowen, including myself, during that period. I think he was either the second or first most transferred out player, which I think a lot of people will be annoyed, but he did blank, so not so annoyed. But with the fixtures he has sort of until game week 18, they're pretty good. The next 4 could be ones where Bowen could get a goal, regardless if West Ham win the game or not, because he has done that in the past before. His away record's been pretty good compared to his home record. So Tottenham away and Fulham away could be ones where he could potentially get a goal and equalise on the 8 goals he already has this season. And yeah, the reason being why Bowen's a hold also is because a lot of you have taken him out, which I'm very questionable about why some of you have taken out Bowen still, even though.
I mean, you did it.
I mean, after
Oh,
after obviously the news that he did play. But yeah, a few of you now have taken him out going forward into Gameweek 15, which I'm not really sure about why. But yeah, he's expected to drop price as well. So he will be 7.5 come tomorrow. And his ownership has obviously dropped to 18%, probably going to drop below that as well. So yeah, he should be holding on to Bowen. He seems fit. He seemed fine in that match. And yeah, for the next 4, I think Bowen is definitely a hold.
Okay, so Bowen as a hold for Jordan. Let's move on again to a couple players that we think you should be looking to ignore for this game week. And first one up is João Pedro. I've gone with João Pedro as a pick. Again, João Pedro is one of those players. Again, I just don't really like because he's too big of a rotation risk for me. So I'm trying to take a look at João Pedro's minutes so far this season. He's just one of those strikers that I always worry when is his next benching. He, 13 appearances, 9 of them off the bench, 4 goals, which is again pretty decent, 1 assist for his price, 5.3 million. He did play against Chelsea, but again, he only came on for 33 minutes, didn't start. However, he did score. He also got a 13-pointer against Forest, which he started. But again, I think this is an easy ignore just because there's a lot of fixtures coming up. Brighton play Brentford on Wednesday and then Burnley again on Saturday. So the fixture list the game's coming thick and fast, and I just see, he's going to get benched in one of these fixtures, and you're going to be annoyed, and you're going to want to sell him again. So fixtures aren't too bad next, 2, but I wouldn't be bringing him in personally, even for a cheap striker. There's so many other options I'd prefer just because he's too big of a rotation risk, and I think in an easy ignore. And then finally, the final ignore, obviously your selection, you've gone with Cunha as an ignore. Talk us through this one because I'm surprised you've gone Cunha as an ignore. I want to hear what's the reasoning behind this one.
Yeah, this might be a bit biased going with obviously his teammate Hwang is a buy, but yeah, I've chosen Cunha as an ignore. A lot of you probably will disagree with this because I did actually say Cunha was a good differential pick in terms of the forward option, where his position is at 5.5 million. But on the other hand, we have to look at the fact that he's only had 4 goals and 2 assists this season compared to Hwang's 8 goals so far this season. So Cunha does get goals here and there. But I think the last goal we got, obviously, against Arsenal was down to a mistake by, obviously, Zinchenko. So if Zinchenko didn't make that initial error, which led to Cunha scoring the goal, then, yeah, he wouldn't have scored and it would have been another blank for Cunha. So I think if we have to pick going forward, I think I'd only pick 1 Wolves asset instead of going for 2 to pick from. I would probably stick with Hwang and probably ignore going for Cunha, who arguably could be a decent option to go for, but I think I'll be more dead certain on Hwang getting more of the returns than obviously his teammate Cunha. But at 1.7%, it's slightly, a lot of people have brought him in due to obviously him scoring. So a few of you have transferred in Cunha, and at 5.5 million, he is cheap, but it all depends on if you see him scoring in the next 5 or how many goals you see him score in the next 5. But the fixtures are good for Wolves, but I think in terms if you want to have Hwang in your team, I think that's enough to cover Wolves, and I think that's why I put Cunha as an ignore, and hopefully that's a good argument to put obviously Cunha as an ignore.
Okay, so those are the picks. Let's quickly just recap the players again off the top. I'll let you go to the start. So you should buy Trippier and Hwang are the buys. You should sell Cash and Diaby. You should hold on to Son and Bowen, and you should ignore João Pedro and Cunha. So those are the 8 players. Let us know what you think of our picks. Do you agree? Do you disagree? It'll be interesting to see what you think in the chat. So make sure you drop a comment as well. If you haven't already, please smash the like button as well on the video if you can. Hit that subscribe button. make sure you ring that notification bell so you don't miss out when we go live. We are actually back again tomorrow at 8 p.m. for a team selection video. So the videos don't stop, the streams don't stop. We're back. Double stream today, stream Monday, tomorrow for team selection 8 p.m. and then we're back. Jordan will be streaming at 5 p.m. on Tuesday for the deadline stream. So it's non-stop. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on your content. But that is it from us. Thank you to all of you that have joined the chat. We've got Scouser, we've got Triple V, we've got Roman. Thank you guys all for joining, and we hope to see you guys very soon. Anything else you want to add, Jordan, to the chat, or before we wrap it up?
Yeah, guys, just thank you for watching throughout this double stream. It is a lot to go through, especially in the short period of time that we have, but we always like to get this content out for you guys, so obviously you have it there for the game weeks. But yeah, enjoy obviously the rest of what your weekend has left, and yeah, we'll see you very soon in obviously tomorrow's stream where you see our team selection for game week 15. But until then, take care and see you later.